You know what's worse than your sister falling for your roommate? Realizing your roommate never looked at her in the first place. That's the kind of thing you laugh at in therapy and cry about in the shower. The first time Devin walked into our apartment, Seattle was buried under a gray, slushy rain. He wore a red puffer jacket, carried a duffel that looked heavier than it should have been, and smiled like he owned the place. Which, technically, he didn't, but he had that kind of presence, effortless, magnetic, the kind of man people turn toward without knowing why. Me? I was just the guy who posted the Craigslist ad. "Quinn, right?" he asked, sticking out his hand. "Devin Cole. I guess we're stuck with each other now." I nodded, trying not to seem awkward. "Yeah. Welcome home." Home. That word hit weird. I'd been living alone since the pandemic, and even after things normalized. I liked the quiet. I liked the predictability of work-from-home coding marathons, oat milk lattes, and Spotify jazz playlists. Devin disrupted all of that like a human hurricane. He sang while making eggs. He FaceTimed his mom twice a week and put her on speaker. He left his sneakers in the hallway, his hoodies on the back of dining chairs, and every few days he baked something: banana bread, cornbread, lemon cake, and left a note that said, "Help yourself," smiley face, on the counter. He was kind. Too kind. The kind that made your chest ache if you looked at it too long. And so, naturally, I panicked. That's when I introduced him to my sister. Nina was single, funny, gorgeous, and newly promoted to associate director at a nonprofit. I figured they'd hit it off. Devin liked strong women. Nina liked emotionally available men. Easy. But on their first accidental coffee meetup at my place, Devin smiled, listened, asked questions, and kept looking over at me. Not in a help-me-escape way. More like he was checking if I was okay. Or maybe I was just imagining it. "Devin's cute," Nina said afterward, nudging me with her elbow as we did the dishes. "Yeah." I tried to sound casual. "Not really my type, though," she added. "He's sweet. Like, puppy dog sweet." "You sure he's not yours?" I laughed. Too hard. "What? No. He's just my roommate." But that night, I couldn't stop thinking about the way Devin had said, "So, Nina's awesome. You two are a lot alike." Was that a compliment? A sign? A trap? I didn't know. So I did what I always do when I'm overwhelmed. Nothing. Time passed. We kept sharing space. Quiet mornings. Late-night sitcoms. Half-finished board games. Shared takeout. Lingering glances I pretended not to see. Until the night everything broke. It was the night after Devin's birthday. He'd gone out drinking with some work friends. I stayed in because social stuff drains me faster than a broken power bank. Around midnight, I heard the door rattle. He stumbled in, hair wet from the rain, cheeks flushed from alcohol and maybe something else. "Hey," he said, breathless, dropping his keys. "You're still up." I nodded. "Just debugging." He grinned and flopped next to me on the couch. Way too close. Our thighs touched. My heart shot straight into my throat. "You didn't come," he said softly, not looking at me. "To the bar. You know I don't really do crowds." "Yeah, but I wanted you there." His voice cracked. "Everyone kept asking who I was texting all night." My mouth dried. "You were texting me?" He leaned in. "Who else would I text, Quinn?" The room got too small. The walls too loud. My laptop screen dimmed to black, forgotten between us. "You're drunk," I muttered. "I'm honest," he corrected. I stood up, heart hammering. "Devin, I like you," he said quietly. "I've liked you since the first time you corrected the coffee order I got wrong for you." "Who does that?" "You, apparently. You and your almond milk specificity." I swallowed. "This isn't." "What real?" He stood too, eyes burning. "It is for me. But if you don't feel it, just say so." I didn't say anything. Couldn't. He grabbed his jacket again, face shuddering. "I'll crash at Marcus's." The door slammed. I stood in the silence he left behind, shaking. And finally, I admitted what I'd been running from for months. I was in love with Devin. 3 days. That's how long he stayed gone. 3 days of me half-writing apology texts and deleting them. 3 days of burning banana bread in an attempt to distract myself. 3 days of Nina calling and me lying, "Yeah, everything's fine." It wasn't. I didn't even know how to fix it. I'd built my whole personality around avoiding confrontation, and now I'd lost the one person who made this rainy city feel like something more than just survival. I didn't sleep much. I barely worked. And on the third night, just past 1 a.m., I opened the door to find Devin sitting on the hallway floor. "You forgot your keys," I said. He looked up, tired. Didn't want to assume. We stared at each other for a beat. Then he said, "I'm sorry." My chest clenched. For what? For being too much. For saying it when I should have waited. Or not said it at all. I stepped out into the hall. "Don't apologize for telling the truth." He laughed bitterly. "You didn't exactly rush to agree with me." "I was scared," I admitted. "Still am." His eyes softened. "Of what?" "Of messing it up. Of losing you. Of wanting something I'm not sure I deserve." He stood, slowly. "You don't have to deserve me, Quinn. You just have to want me." I reached for him. My hand brushed his. Fingers twined. He didn't pull away. It's been 6 months. The couch is still the same. The city's still rainy. Devin still sings while cooking, and I still groan every time he leaves flour on the counter. But now he kisses me good morning. Now we share more than rent. We share warmth, grief, laughter. The mundane magic of building a life. Nina came by last week. She took one look at the two of us and smirked. "Finally," she said. "Took you long enough." Maybe she's right. Maybe I should have said something sooner. But I think part of love is letting it become undeniably so loud it breaks through your silence. And when it did, I was ready to listen. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated with the latest videos.